today I will be showing you how to complete Hurricos, which is in Summer Forest. And honestly, this is where I'm starting to get less confident in my abilities to teach these levels. Probably doesn't make me qualified to make tutorials, but hey, I'm just a 17-year-old making a little passion project here. So basically the gist of this level is you're gonna need like these little light bulb looking things, and you have to put them in these arches to be able to get through the electricity barrier. And you're gonna see those giant enemies with the wrenches, and you have to flame those. Rule of thumb, big enemies you must flame, you cannot charge. And then there are also robots, and so another thing to remember, metal enemies you must charge and can't flame. So you'll just find like a bunch of these like little light bulb looking things. I don't remember, like, they probably say what they actually are if you actually read what the guy said at the beginning, but you just look for those and obviously grab gems per usual. In the second area, you're going to see this power-up and a bunch of massive windmills. You can't break these massive windmills. Normally, you must use Supercharge, but you can't use Supercharge yet. You're gonna have to go through a few more, like the next area and kill more enemies so that you can eventually use that. Once you go in here, you can talk to this guy and he'll give you the talisman, and then you can move on to the 2 mini-games in which you get 3 orbs, I believe, because there's like a midway point in one of the mini-games where he gives you an orb and then you have to complete the mini-game to get the next orb. The first one I'll be doing is the, I'd say, easier one. And you have to go back into this second middle area, and behind like a little crevice there will be steps to get to a certain area. Up here there's like this gear shaped spot, and then I'm just collecting the gems, but then you would go into this doorway up here, and I did that really fucked up for some reason, but you don't have to do it like that, you can just do it normally. I killed this guy, and then the other guy left, and then you can talk to him to initiate the minigame, in which you have to pick up these orbs, which you do just by walking up to it, and he'll automatically pick them up, and shooting them into these little spots that you'll see. However, periodically you'll hear an alarm go off, and that's when these big purple guys come in, and you these are one of the exceptions with big enemies where you actually can charge these guys, or flame them. And so you kind of just have to keep putting the orbs in the little sockets, and every now and again you'll hear an alarm that kind of sounds like the iPhone, like, literal alarm sound, if you know what I mean? If you catch my drift. And then you'll, like, know because you'll hear them laughing. And that's it. You just keep doing that until you kill all 10 of them and get all the electro balls into the sockets. So I'll speed this up. once you get, once you kill all 10 of those guys and get all of the orb thingies in their sockets, you will get an orb for this minigame, and you are done. And you can then move on to the next minigame, in which you first need to go back to that area I was talking about with the speed boost, and you have to use it to break all of the big ones. And for some reason, I'm not doing it right now. Oh, you also need to break this chest with that. So this is one of the few where you need to do that instead of using a rocket. But once you break these, you should press the button. I wasn't doing it right away for some reason. I think I thought that you had to wait and do it in a specific order, but you don't. You should do it right away. Because I'm like thinking about it and I like then remember what the buttons do, so then I go back and hit them. And they stop these fans so that you can use them for the next minigame. And then there are two in the next area which are a little bit hard to get just because of how hard it is to control Spyro whenever you are supercharging. So that was weird. But I'm gonna fail this first time, and then I'm gonna see where they're at. So don't go this route, this is really bad actually. So you'll see one right there, which I'm kind of pointing out, and then one over there. So it's just gonna be a very sharp right turn once you enter that area. And then you hit the buttons as you go. So then these actually go up to steps so that you can go up there and talk to this guy.
Spyro,
Well, these guys sound like SpongeBob because Tom Kenny voices these guys. As well as Spyro, but you know, Spyro doesn't really sound like SpongeBob, I would say. So basically what you do is you glide onto these fan blades so that you can reach this area, like these platforms over here. You're just gonna keep doing that. I went over here because I was like, oh, is this a secret area with more gems? I don't know what that is, what that's for. Don't know why you can go over there. But then this is the tricky part where there are these platforms that like kind of go in and out and you have to glide to them with good timing. I did it in a super fucked up way. You can wait and it'll be a lot easier for you, I'm sure. So this is the orb that you get in the middle of this minigame. But then you have to keep going across these fans and then across more like moving platforms. You want to be careful whenever you're gliding on these fan blades just because sometimes your landing will get messed up just because it's moving a lot faster than the other ones. But then you're going to go up onto these platforms that you went under previously. And then you glide over there to that area with the gems and the, like windmill, whatever you call it. And then this is where you'll need to do more gliding. And this is an example of how it can be much easier than how I did it before. Then you talk to this guy and then he's like, oh no, go press the button in there. So you just go in there and activate that button. And then you have completed this minigame, and you get the third and final orb in Hurricos. And this is another situation where if you were smarter than me about getting gems, you'd be done. However, I have to go back and get a bunch of gems. I somehow make this glide. I don't know how. That was pretty lucky, actually. So I'm just getting gems over here, and then in the next area I have more gems. I want to note that I'm pretty sure there's literally no benefit to breaking the tiny windmills, but I do it anyway just because why not? And then the next gems I need are going to be over here. And then that's Hurricos. Good luck!